February 19th at 10:45 a.m. I saw Bob Marley's One Love last night. I really enjoyed it. Some parts of the movie made me emotional. I kept thinking about my son, my youngest. His dad and I were having a conversation, and he was telling me things I didn't want to hear nor accept. Hold on. I found myself pausing just now because I ain't want nobody to hear me say that it's me. But it's me. I've been the problem. His behavior with me is challenging to say the least. The lines are definitely blurred. I don't see myself as the problem anymore. I'm aware and I desire to be a solution. His father and I don't agree on discipline. Now, when I say that, I grew up in a household where you don't listen to your mama, you don't listen to your daddy, you getting that pow, you getting tapped. But just from my personal experience and being a young girl and seeing your father, who is, my dad was a big man. I used to call him, like, we took a picture one time when I was a little girl, and on the picture he looked like a black Fred Flintstone. So when I would get in trouble, like my dad was a very passionate, intense man. That's where I get it from. The apple don't fall far from the tree. But when he would get mad and ragey, it would be very scary. So look at that. Look, rubbing my hands and stuff just thinking about it. I'm still healing from that. Hello. It's my kids. Anywho, there was this instance I could think of in particular when I was in second grade, and I said this. I used to talk a lot or whatever in class, but teacher would call my mom or whatever, and all my mama had to say was, "You just wait till your daddy get home." And the rest of my day at school would just be horrible. The teacher could call early in the morning, so the rest of the day you at school, and all you could think about is ugh. I remember I used to walk home from school with my older cousins, and y'all, I was crying. I did not want to go home. I was crying. I was scared, but I went home. I had to keep using the bathroom. But anywho, that's how it was. I don't know where I left off at. But what I do know is when I got home and I got that papow, it was horrible. The rest of my day was horrible. But afterwards, he felt so bad. He would feel bad about it. And the next day, he'd be like, "Come on, let's go." And I would either be at a pawn shop. I went to the pawn shop every weekend with my daddy. We would be at a pawn shop. I would get a video game. Or we would go to get some kind of game system or KB Toys. Y'all remember KB Toys? Toys R Us. I would get something. He would buy me something. And saying that out loud now as an adult, that is how you train. That is how you teach young women and young men to accept violence. That's violence. It's violence. That's what it is. Look at it. 444 Ashe. So, anywho, moving forward. I've made a decision to not hit my children out of anger and frustration. He thinks this is very foolish, And the BS new wave of parenting is going to have my children in destructive mode by the age of 12. Now, I didn't write this, but he did say, they're going to be trying to fight you. I got 2 boys, 2 black young men. He said they're going to be trying to fight me. But they not. Just keep listening. I know once I relearn behavior patterns and continue to work on myself, there will be progress. So I can articulate what I need to do. It's the execution process where I have the issues with. I need some executioners in my life. Spiritual beings, y'all know what I mean. The executioners, I need the executioners of the zodiac in my life. It won't happen overnight. Children mimic our behavior. I do know that. Children are the great observers. That's what I call them, the great observers. And they learn our patterns, even the patterns we don't recognize. That's what causes the frustration within us. Being unaware of these patterns is what's frustrating. And when all you know is putting your hands on someone because they aren't doing what you say, I paused and I wrote pause. And looking at that sentence in itself sounds crazy to me. Anywho, his father said he knows exactly what's going on with my 4-year-old. And these were his exact words. He said he feels abandoned. And he's felt abandoned since he's been in the womb. And he told me that he knows this because this is something that, well, that's not for me to share, but he knows this. His father knows this. But he says that my 4-year-old has felt abandoned since he's been in the womb. And hearing that and writing that, it made my eyes burn. Because this is something that I know deep down. While I was pregnant with him, first of all, Kari, children are never surprises. It would only be a surprise if we wasn't doing the shebang and blasting off. And let me not say that. Anyway, Kari has felt abandoned since he's been in my womb. I remember when I first told my parents that I was having another child, they were not. I'm stumbling because in this moment, and I'm not allowing myself to honor myself in this moment. I paused because I immediately thought about how it would make my mom feel if I said something like that and put it out there like that. How it would make other people, how it would make people feel. But this is purely for Karen, and this is to honor Karen. When I told my parents that I was pregnant, they were not pleased. I was married at the time. I already had another son. They were like, it's so close together. No, my mom was already keeping my first child for me. He was not in daycare. And I can understand. It would be she was feeling obligated to assist because she loves me. That's, you know what? And that's how it felt. It felt like she's having more of a responsibility and more of an obligation to help. And so I was starting to feel as if I was a burden. And I didn't tell my partner at first because I was nervous. And then I told his mom first. She was excited. She was really happy about it. And I'm glad I told her first. I'm glad I did. but she accidentally told him. I was gonna surprise him. She accidentally told him, and I still wasn't gonna tell him at first until I was spotting. Now, prior to me being pregnant with Kari, I had a miscarriage. And so when I started spotting with Kari, I got real like nervous and upset. I was at work. I hadn't even told my boss or anyone else that I was, I knew I was pregnant. And so I immediately said, I need to go to the emergency room. Came out the bathroom, ran to the emergency room, went to the emergency room, and then that's when I told my husband that I was having a child. And so my pregnancy with Kari was not the same as it was with Tony. I had a much more pleasant experience with Tony. My mom did a lot. She did. She really did. Now, she did a lot. And she gave me a baby shower. She brought a lot of things for me. She was there. The first week I came home, she came over every day. She came over every morning. She told me when she first had me that her mom assisted her as much as she could, but her mother was older. But she said that she wanted to help me, and she wanted to do for me what couldn't be done for her. So I appreciated that. She came over and she would fix me oatmeal, and I loved oatmeal. She would fix me oatmeal in the morning, and I would get like a couple of hours of sleep because me and Tony would be up to like 5 o'clock in the morning watching Murder, She Wrote and Caillou. And so it wasn't like that it wasn't like that with my 4-year-old Kari. My second pregnancy, I felt alone. I felt very overwhelmed. I had to be put on bed rest a month earlier than me planning on going out on leave from work. And like thinking back on it, Karen, you did a good job. You got through it. I'm proud of you. I'm so very proud of you. I would be... Who is this? Hold on. Okay. I would be... At that time, I felt like I was unable to... And saying this out loud now... Ooh... I was unable to express I didn't feel comfortable expressing certain emotions around my partner. Crying, being sensitive, and yeah, being sensitive, but as I say being sensitive now, I'm not saying it in a negative way. It is okay to be sensitive. I'm a sensitive being. That is who I am. That's my gift. I feel. And I'm distracted. Shiny red ball syndrome, shiny red ball syndrome, shiny red ball syndrome. And the distraction is coming because it's getting real. I did not feel comfortable crying around him any longer, because if I would start crying, if I was reaching out to him for comfort, he wasn't able to give it to me. He wasn't able to give it. And so I was frustrated. I was being very codependent. Very. So I stopped crying in front of him. I looked at it as he's looking at me as a weak individual. I need to be strong. I need to be tough. I need to start wearing my heart on my sleeve. And so I would wait until I would get in the shower. Y'all, I would take like a shower for almost an hour. Like to the point of where the stuff, the popcorn ceiling, whatever you call it, it started peeling in the bathroom. That's how long I would be, like, it would be so steamy and hot for those long periods of time. Anywho, that's when I discovered the band Khruangbin, and I would play their CD in the shower August 10th, Friday morning. Maria, I can't pronounce it, but it's Temblen, I think it's the name of the song. I would play their, what is it? It's a song called The Recital That Never Happened. Like, I would play, and I would just cry in the shower. I would cry and cry. I even made a playlist of encouraging words. It's like a gospel playlist. It was a challenging time for me, but I got through it. And when I had Kari, I had to have Kari. I had natural birth. When I say natural birth, I pushed Tony, but I had an epidural. But that was something in itself too. Them people at the, I got the epidural. I wasn't feeling it. The second time they did the epidural, I remember I started seeing spots. It got real cool. I heard somebody say something, and I don't know what happened after that. It was like really fast. I know it was something crazy though. And then they said that they would have to do it again, and I almost lost my mind. So they did it the third time, a third epidural, and it still didn't work, y'all. The epidural did not work with little Tony. Anywho, to Kari, I had to have a C-section. I had a low-lying placenta in the end, which is why I had to go on bed rest. And I wasn't supposed to really be moving around, but I felt like I did not have the support system that I needed with the community I was surrounding myself with. So I was still doing things that I wasn't supposed to be doing, that the doctor said that I shouldn't be doing. And as I'm thinking about this now, he felt that in my womb. He felt, he felt me like not taking care of myself properly. He felt me not doing what was in his best interest. I thought I was doing what would be in his best interest, but I wasn't. I had a C-section, and let me tell y'all, when I first heard his cry, I was like, why does he sound like that? He sounded so angry. He sounded angry. And you hear your baby cry for the first time. Like when I first heard Tony, I saw my first child. It was so surreal. It was like, oh my God, he's here. Like every week I was looking. He's the size of a blueberry. Now he's the size of a peach. Now he's the size of a watermelon. I would watch these videos on YouTube of I even looked at like women who gave birth to their babies early, or babies who weren't fully developed. I would watch videos like that so I can get an idea of what stage he was in inside of my belly. Like, that's what it was. I would sing to him, talk, and I would do that some with Kari, but not as much. I didn't do it as much, and I had a 2-year-old when I was pregnant with him. I didn't, I was still trying to love on my 2-year-old and listening to others around me and moving forward. I did what I thought was best. I did what I thought was best. After I had him, I experienced postpartum depression. I didn't realize that's what it was at the time, but that's what started me on my spiritual awakening. I don't even want to say, look at it, I'm getting all upset now because, not upset, but I don't like saying, let me talk about this. I am someone who especially in this day and age, I fancy myself on not liking trends. So when I was a Facebook junkie, there was one point at one time on Facebook where, people have their name or whatever. And then all of a sudden is your name, this long crazy name in the middle. Like, let's just say my name is John Poppin' Them Berries Smith. I'm like, why is everybody doing this now? It's silly. And spiritual people with grand risings, and I can't say that. And no shade to anyone. But it's no, I feel, I'm not pausing this. I'm just going to keep going. I signed up for some classes with a group, and the person who initiated this idea of teaching other spiritual beings, she has a catchphrase, and I call it a catchphrase because she was the first person I really paid attention to, like, saying it. And I hear a lot of other people saying it, and I just can't do it because it doesn't feel genuine to me. It doesn't feel genuine. So what she says is peace, peace. Now, if anybody who watches this and watches her, learns from her, then you know what I'm talking about. It's peace, 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 peace. Everybody say peace, 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 peace. Or grand risings. Oh, it's telling me to get close. Grand risings. What else? What else y'all like to say? I don't ever hear nobody say, I don't never hear nobody say hotep. But it is it took me a long time to even for me to even say Ashe, because it did not feel genuine. It don't feel genuine. Now, it feels genuine from Professor. It feels genuine from some people, but not all. It does not feel genuine from all. When I see someone saying grand risings, when someone walks past me or is talking to me, and because of how I look, you want to say something different. I don't like that. So I am very intentional about how I speak. And I wanted to say something. Like I said, I didn't want to say good morning anymore. So I started saying greetings. Greetings and gratitude. Greetings and gratitude. That's me. Greetings and gratitude, because it's who I am. And it's the sun sign in me, Capricorn. I'm not a follower. I'm a leader. I lead. I lead with other leaders, because I don't want nobody following me. So I stand beside leaders. And I feel like I just went off on a rant. Not a real, I don't know, semi rant. But anywho, moving forward. I try not to get caught up in trends. And I haven't always been that way. Like in the past, I've been all on a, like, if you get a something funny, like recently with the Fanny, I can't remember her last name now, but the attorney, and how I think it was yesterday or maybe day before yesterday, I posted something. And of course, you see people talking about, oh yeah, they, this black woman, they got the right one. They got the right one. She got them together. And yada yada. I don't mean to say yada yada yada, no disrespect, but when is there going to be a time where what am I trying to say? Why does I don't know what I'm trying to say. I know what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to put it into words to speak it to y'all. So I'm going to ask my spirit squad to help me. Hold on. What I'm trying to say is, I do not want to continue to celebrate black women being in defensive mode. I no longer want to celebrate that. That's not anything to celebrate. She should not have to defend herself like that. It's wrong. And if it was another woman of another race, she would not have to defend herself like that moving forward. I made a post because I kept seeing it everywhere, so I wanted to twist it, change the narrative. And I asked spiritual beings, okay, so since we keep seeing her in the media, what ritual is happening here, and what archetypal body, who does she embody? Who does she embody? Is it Anat? Lioness? Is that who she was embodying? I had a dream night before last about lions. I saw Bob Marley yesterday, and the lions were standing up. Rastafari. Y'all, I love Bob Marley so much. I was so happy to go see that movie. It was a good movie to me. Now, if you aren't, this is a disclaimer, if you are not a Bob Marley fan, I don't think you would enjoy the movie. If that 1977 Exodus album ain't got you through something, then you may not enjoy that movie. But moving forward, I saw the lions, and it's just learning more about the Rastafari. It's like, even if, y'all, that album, I had to have been a Rastafari in another life somewhere, because Jah's people. Like, movement of Jah people, send us another brother Moses from across the Red Sea. Send us another brother Moses. Movement of Jah people, move. Like, just, I feel that, just saying that. Woo! Woo! Singing that song and saying it. I feel it all right here. All right here. I feel it. Just feel it. I feel it. Anyway, I enjoyed the movie. I was speaking of Anat. The name was standing out to me. And let me go back. Where is she? I got my book. Y'all know what book I got. Y'all know what book I got. Now, my other books right now are in storage. And once I am settled in my new surroundings, we can do a like a book. You know what? That's exactly what I'm gonna do, because I don't want to really like buy no more books, but then I don't like going to the library because I don't like giving them back. So if y'all want to do like some book swapping, let's do some book swapping. Let's swap books, okay? So I'm gonna make a video showing my books. If anybody else got some books that you want to swap off, we could trade them, exchange them. Like, we could create our own library amongst each other. Drop a black heart with the Saturn afterwards, if y'all in agreement. And if I got enough people on here that would like to do it, we could do that, but I'll still show it to you. So the book that I'm going in now, again, is the Encyclopedia of Spirits. This is the ultimate guide to the magic of fairies, genies, gnomes, gods, and goddesses. I said gnomes. It say demons, ghosts, gods, and goddesses. I can't read backwards. I told you. And then again, the author is Judika Illes. 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 So Anat, ANAT, the girl, lady of heaven, mistress of all spirits, strength of life, lady of mercy. When I saw the word mistress just now, because we gonna get into that. Once upon a time, in another lifetime, I had the opportunity of experiencing certain things. All right, we ain't talking about that right now. We gonna move forward. Mistress of all spirits, strength of life, lady of mercy, also known as Anath, Anta, maybe a star. She's Semitic, of Semitic origin. She's the spirit who can slay the grim reaper. I underline that. Look at it. Where is it? Look it. And then, what else did it say? Anat is the lowest common spiritual denominator in what is now the western reaches of the Middle East. She was venerated by ancient Amorites, Canaanites, Egyptians, Hebrews, Phoenicians, and Syrians. It is the ultimate irony to imagine that peace might theoretically be achieved in this spiritually and politically turbulent region if only everyone would once again venerate the war goddess Anat. She's a war goddess. She's so fierce, She actually kills Death after he messes with her brother. She personally grinds up Death's bones and scatters them to the winds. Anat muzzles sea monsters. She kills to the left and slays to the right. She don't fucking play. Don't get in her way when she's angry. Like Ogun or Kali, once Anat's dander is up, she's almost impossible to stop. Her rage is never far from the surface. She has tremendous wells of frustration, and anger is easily provoked. She is simultaneously a goddess of reproduction and war, life and death. Sex and violence in her myths are graphic, even by modern standards. Anat does not merely lead devotees into battle. She exults in gore and bloodshed, wading waist deep in blood. She don't fucking play. All right, so that's just some of her things. She is in the Phoenicia iconography. If y'all know how to read or pronounce words. I don't pronounce words well, but it's okay. Phoenicia, I still love to read. Anat is depicted as a beautiful woman in a chariot drawn by 7 lions. She wears a crown of myrtle leaves and is accompanied by doves. In Egypt, Anat is depicted as a naked woman riding bareback, brandishing weapons or robed in flames, armed with a sword and bow. She may wear a belt of severed heads. She is often portrayed caressing or blessing a young child with her left hand. Y'all, she sound badass. Attributes: battle shield, frame drum, sickle, bow and arrow, sword. Her parents, Ashera and El, according to Ugaritic myth. I don't know what Ugaritic is. I have to look that up. And her sacred animals are cows, doves, deer, dogs, dolphins, gazelle, horses, lions, vultures. Trees, acacia and myrtle. Planets, moon, Venus. She personifies Venus as the morning and evening star. In the daytime, Anat leads her followers to war. At night, she inspires them sexually. The petitions for her: Anat loves gambling passionately and may attempt to cajole you into a game. Never gamble with her. Ever. Not even in dreams. She never loses. Ever. Anat plays a frame drum and can be communicated with through drumming. We about to pause. Hey no man, no mean, no man, no man. Hey no man, yo mean, yo man, yo man. Yeah, I had to go get what we got. So I bought this a few months ago. What is this? Oh, it's my baby's. His cousin bought him a birthday card. And I love cards like this. I'm distracted. Listen. Okay, so the funny thing about this, she didn't even notice, y'all. When we told my mother-in-law that we were pregnant with our first child, she played this song. She turned it up so loud. She was outside and she was singing and dancing. And this is the birthday card he got for his 7th birthday. Okay. I need to. This is Palo Santo. I love the way it smells. It smells so good to me. Yes, it does. And I don't blow it out. Why the little boy doing that? We gonna get a good vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe now. Don't do that, sweetheart. It's a vibe now. So I bought this drum. Kari, don't do that, sweetheart. Y'all already. I was getting ready to pop off. Okay, but I'm a work in progress. So I have this drum, and a steel drum. I have a steel drum, and I have not learned how to play it yet. I keep feeling like the need to put everything off until I'm settled into a spot. Well, not. Let me stop lying. I ain't putting everything off. I ain't putting this off. Sharing my stories with you. So she plays a frame drum and can be communicated through with drumming. You can call her with the fragrance of coriander, and she likes weapons. Give her hand-shaped milagros. What is that? See the glossary entry for milagros. All right, so we about to look right now. Shoot, I ain't waiting. What does it say? What is that? And that's something else I love about this book. Because I've had this book now for a couple of years, and every time I go in it, I see something new that I haven't seen before. I just love it. I love that. Okay, where's the glossary? That's the appendix. This is a bibliography. Maybe the glossary is in the front of the book. We could look at the table of contents to find out where the glossary at. It's on page 65. So it is I'm gonna go back and read that. Look at that, dream. What I told y'all. I be like, stuff just be standing out to me. I need to go back and read about dream, because my dreams now, they like, I'm low-key a little obsessive over them, and I don't need to be. I need to be balanced about it. I just be trying to make myself like write it down so I can decode it and figure it out. The word milagro literally means miracle in Spanish. There's that word again, miracle. In Portuguese, milagre. A milagro is a type of ex voto, essentially a charm offered in exchange for a miracle. Milagros symbolize the specific miracle requested. Most involve healing. And so the standard milagro is a little image in the form of a human body part, an eye, ear, leg, arm, or other part of the anatomy. Choose a milagro that symbolizes your needs. Milagros are not actual body parts. They resemble charms on a charm bracelet and may be incorporated into jewelry. Bruh! Look at what I wear. I love charm bracelets. I told y'all I've been dreaming about it. See, this could be another example of how spiritual beings get the answers. This is how you get the answers. This is how you follow those little things in your head, those thoughts that come to you. That's how you, and don't doubt it. Just follow it. And if it don't lead nowhere, it don't lead nowhere. But if it do lead somewhere, you keep going down the rabbit hole. All right. Some collect them just because they are pretty, evocative, and usually inexpensive, not for spiritual use. The terms milagro and ex voto are sometimes used synonymously, but there are many types of ex votos. Milagros are currently the most popular type of ex voto. The Spanish name has entered the English language perhaps because no specific English word exists that expresses this concept. Why? Words do exist in other languages, for example, the modern Greek word tamata. The standard modern milagro is made from some inexpensive silvery metal, but they may also be made from bread dough, wax, or precious gems and metals. More expensive milagros are not more effective. Expensive ones are usually intended as repayment for favors received rather than used for the initial request. Most are tiny representations, but life-size versions are popular in Brazil. Milagro is a modern name, but the concept is ancient. Similar offerings to spirits are among the oldest archaeological finds, dating back at least to the Bronze Age. Some of the most ancient have been found in Iberia, Portugal, and Spain, and in what is now Switzerland. All right. I'm going to finish reading this on my own because I don't want to be on here regurgitating what you can go and study for yourself, because if you are just listening to someone just read things to you and you're not taking it in for self, it's not going to stick. It's not going to mean nothing. You're not going to understand it. You have to experience it. We have to experience it ourselves in order to get an understanding, to get the full understanding, to get a holistic understanding. We all must experience it ourselves, because what I'm doing now is bringing my piece of the puzzle to the table. And I need all of my other spiritual beings to be inspired as I was and bring your puzzle piece to the table as well, so we could get a holistic understanding of what's going on. All right, so moving forward. Word. Milagros are most associated with healing, but not always. A heart-shaped milagro may indicate heart disease, but it could also demonstrate a plea for love or the need for a romantic miracle. Y'all, I see the word mirrors. I'm not going to go to that now. I need to go back to the beginning of this dictionary though again, because I see some words in here that are really standing out to me. Ooh, colors. Some spirits have specific color associations. The color blue represents peace, tranquility, protection, healing of addiction, psychic and emotional pain. Okay, don't do that. Okay. I don't know how to cut that part out. I should pause it. I'll figure it out. I never finished reading the diary. I stopped at my eyes burn. So I'm going to end it with this. I can't change the past. I can't make up for it either. I can find the tools we need to help us heal, though. And I will. And I will find a solution. I am the solution. I'm the solution. I'm the solution. I'm the solution. I'm the solution. Me. I'm the solution. This is my affirmation. I am the solution. I'm not the problem. I'm the motherfucking solution. I'm the solution.